Hi, this is a Merry Mayhem's podcast.
where we unpack everything about weddings. So take a breath, settle in, and let's dive right in.
Welcome to a Merry Mayhem's podcast.
Do you have any idea what we are talking about today?
No, I was only briefly looking through what we were gonna talk about, which is what
Things to know before you start planning your wedding lah. So I think essentially we are just trying to help the wedding couples out there to kickstart their wedding journey. So a lot of them, I believe, are quite lost at the start as to what to do. You know, whether is it to find a photographer first or is it to find a wedding venue first. Hopefully, based on what we have went through with our couples, we can help you and give you some tips as to how to kickstart this wedding planning, and also what are some of the pitfalls, common mistakes that couple make, and then we can share later on. Basically, there are just hopefully not too much. There are 10 things.
Wow.
Okay, I just keep it to
Okay.
10. Yeah, but of course there can be less, there can be more. It really depends on your wedding lah. You know, because every couple has different type of weddings. There are the smaller type, you know, like mine, where I just had around 40 to 50 people. Yeah, there are those that has, you know, 500-600 people. Yeah, so it really varies lah. But we just giving out a very average kind of sorry. Hello, can you not come here and disturb me or not, Paris? What are you doing? I thought you're supposed to be on the tray. Why do you come here? Hello. Maybe you want to make a guess. So what is the first thing that, you know, comes to mind when it comes to planning your wedding?
I would think venue would be the first thing that come to my mind actually, because like you need a place to hold your wedding.
But before your venue, there should be still something to consider before you even start finding your venue.
I want to secure a venue first, at least. At least I know like there's a space. Okay, but if I don't know the number of people that I'm gonna invite,
I think these are very technical things that you're talking about.
Yep.
So the first thing I want to go into is not so technical. Yeah. So
What
it's
is it?
more of like, if you think about it lah, every Singaporean getting married, they typically, you know, spend easily $40,000 to $50,000 on average, you know, on a wedding. So spending so much money, you know, at the end of the day, what's the point of it? Why not just sign the papers and like for how much? I think now signing the marriage cert is like $20 or $40. I forgot already.
Okay.
Yeah. So why instead of spending $20 to $40, why spend $40,000 to $50,000 on a wedding banquet? You know.
Shit, how many times is that?
So to me is actually the question you should ask yourself, right? Is why are you doing this? What are you trying to achieve? You know, what kind of feeling do you want to get from the wedding? So by answering those questions, it gives you a better perspective as to what type of wedding will suit you better, whether a big one or a small one. You know, a small one can be places like at a beach, you know, at a garden, at a rooftop. The bigger weddings are usually the ones that requires a bigger venue, like a ballroom, typically,
True that.
right?
Yes.
So I think you have to really sit down and think about this and discuss with your partner. What is it you're trying to achieve together, you know, at this wedding? When you ask yourself, do you want it to be more fun, more romantic, you know, things like that? Then from there you work backwards, right? You can have a better idea what type of venue will suit the style that you are going for. Yeah, because some people want a very grand one.
Yeah.
So when you talk about grand, you want to look for big venues like Shangri-La, you know, where they can hold easily 50 tables and up. You know, there are very few venues, by the way, in Singapore that can hold more than 50 tables. So your options are very limited. Yeah. So by knowing that, you know, you want a big wedding, then you can straight away eliminate a lot of the venues and narrow down to that few that can possibly achieve what you want. So maybe we can move on to the second one, which is actually what you mentioned just now. Once you have decided on the type of wedding you want to do, then I think you will then start to look for venues that actually is in line with the type of wedding that you are trying to go for. Be it an outdoor wedding or indoor wedding. Yeah, and then would you prefer it to be at the garden, the beach, in a colonial house, at a wedding hotel ballroom, things like that. Yeah. So speaking of venue, just curious, do you have any favorite venue or not?
Actually, if you ask me, if it's for myself, so going by what like the first thing that you want to think of when you're planning, right, is to determine the type of wedding you want to be. So I want it to be a bit small scale, not too big, a bit more intimate and cozy. So actually, I've shot at places like One Atiko, and then there's another place which I can't remember what's the name of that place. But so places like One Atiko, like it's slightly smaller scale, a bit more intimate. Yeah, which I prefer. And like places like that I feel like I would want to hold like a.
Okay, so you like rooftop kind of feels lah. Okay, cause I mean, from my experience with couples, they always like to ask me, like as a photographer, which location do you prefer the most and things like that. So yeah, well, I think it will be good lah to talk about this also.
Then what's yours?
So for me, one of the favorite ones I've done, if I were to consider for myself, would be what is it called? Is One Altitude. Yes, I remember, but it's no longer there.
Yes.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, they closed down already.
Huh?
Yeah,
Really?
One Altitude. Yes. You never shot there before, right?
Isn't that?
It's at the UOB Plaza or UOB the office building. They have Tower 1, Tower 2. It's at one of the tower all the way on the top.
Isn't that Capital Spring?
No. Capital Spring is indoor ma. This one is open roof one. So you are literally on the top of the building. UOB is, if I'm not wrong, UOB Plaza is one of the tallest building in Singapore, or used to be one of the tallest. Yeah, and then you are literally on like one of the tallest building in Singapore on an open roof. Yeah. And then I still remember that time when I shot, right, there was like a National Day. Yeah, National Day rehearsal. So it was like a Saturday weekend, and then there were planes flying on the top, right above our head, Yeah, but it was damn noisy lah, because there was solemnization going on. But
definitely.
Yeah, but it's quite cool lah,
Yeah.
So I don't know if they still allow, like the new restaurant or bar that took over, do they still allow doing weddings? But there used to be like maybe one of my favorite spots lah. But the thing about doing weddings at this kind of venue, yes, it's very nice. It's quite different, it's not the typical ballroom settings.
Yeah.
But the downside to it is you need to know that a lot of things there's a lot of external vendors you need to work with to engage. The good thing about doing at hotels, why so many couples choose hotel, right, is because hotels, they provide you a lot of things. You even have a room to stay. Logistics wise, a lot of things you can even book a hotel room earlier to store your things there, so you don't have to rush down and bring everything down on the day itself to set up. Yeah, and then they have coordinators that will help you plan the program flow, your wedding favors. They also provide you invitation cards. It's like an all-in-one package kind of thing lah. So it takes a lot of burden off the couple's shoulder. Yeah, and then the ballroom styling, they also already have pre-existing vendors that they can help you style up your venue. So it makes it very fast free, but it loses some form of personal touch lah, I would say, because some brides, they will have a lot of personal preference as to what type of flowers they want, what kind of styling, like do they want fairy lights and things like that lah. So if you do it at a hotel, sometimes they will have restrictions in place. They don't allow you to do this, do that, so it can be a little bit hard to work with sometimes. But that is if you have a lot of personal things that you want to bring into the venue itself lah.
Okay, I think there isn't something that without money you cannot settle lah. So you remember like the one we shot at Capella?
Yeah.
So you mentioned they booked out the lunch
Yeah.
the lunch timing as well, just so that they have enough time to bring in
Yeah, that was insane. Like,
trees. Brought in like
Yeah.
literally like a tree.
so a bit
inside.
of context for the people watching what's going on, like what Ming Hui is sharing is that because they are doing a dinner, so what happened was that the wedding coordinator told them that they can only start setting up around 4 p.m. But then the stylist told them that because their setup is too comprehensive, so they don't have enough time if they only start at 4 p.m. They can't get it done by 6. 2 hours is not enough. So end up the couple had to book out the lunch time slot so that the stylist can come in early in the mornings to start doing all the styling, which if I remember correctly, it's like somewhere around $60,000 to block out the lunch.
Yeah,
In the end, they never invite guests for the lunch. It's just really for the stylist to come in, so people cannot take the lunch slot. No? Yeah, so it's quite crazy.
That was insane.
Yeah. It definitely was one of the more memorable ones that I remember. Yeah, but of course, I think 99% of the people won't splurge in this manner.
It don't make sense to do it that way. It don't make financial sense, I would say. But
Yeah.
sometimes like, if you want your dream wedding to be that way, then I guess
Yeah.
you have to do that.
So I think there are people out there who are willing to spend with this kind of I would say maybe they don't even have a budget, all they care about is I want something, and their only worry is whether they can or cannot do. It's not so much about whether they have the money to spend or not. Even when they work with us, they engage like so many people from our team to get involved.
Two each, 2 photographers, 2 videographers.
Yeah, but it's an overseas couple so it's a like Asian American kind,
Australian.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
They were Australians. I think the movie Crazy Rich Asian, right, inspired a lot of Asian Americans couple to come Singapore to hold their weddings. Yeah, and then Chimes was like one of the popular spots.
Really?
Yeah, because the movie Crazy Rich Asian, do you watch?
I did.
Yeah, they did it at Chimes.
I didn't know you were shot in Chimes.
Yeah, it was shot in Chimes. There was the couple got wedded in Chimes. They even got like water flowing.
What
the bride walk when she march in, she walk on water and things like that.
I need to watch again.
It's like I think it's like giving the brides out there a lot of crazy ideas.
Damn, wow, the sky is the limit, really.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would say like actually a lot of them, they do want to reserve the money to put it elsewhere, like
honeymoon.
Honeymoon is being
And renovation, right?
Correct. Yeah, these two. I think it's the classic Singapore. Couples.
Yeah, because a lot of weddings and the house are coming at the same time.
Correct,
they BTO, then they get married and things like that.
BTO.
Yeah, so after the wedding, they still have a lot of money that they have to spend on the house that's coming up, the renovation. And you see now with all the YouTube home reno that is so nice, they see on social media, people are splurging tens of thousands of dollars on home renovation. Yeah, I'm also one of them. That's why I save a lot on my wedding so that I can afford to spend more on the house.
True.
Yeah. So people have different priorities, I would say. Yeah. Okay, so good. So we touch on venue. Let's move on to the next one. So after you plan your venue, then I think the next thing to actually look out for on the list would be I won't say you plan your venue, but you don't have to lock down your venue, but venue will be the first thing that you will consider lah. Then I think the next thing, right, is actually all the vendors who you want to engage, what kind of a service you will require for the wedding day. So maybe you can share what are the type of vendors that couples typically engage. Yeah, I have 8 here. Let's see how many you can get out of the 8.
Okay, I would say firstly, just running through the timeline in my head, probably like makeup artist first, and then your photographer, videographer, if any.
So wait, photographer, videographer, makeup artist, then
your flowers, your bouquet.
Okay, bouquet.
Styling of the place.
Styling lah, okay.
Yeah, styling.
Got 4 more.
Wow. Got 4 more.
Of course. Hey bro, you shoot wedding. You shoot more than 200 weddings. How can you not know?
Oh no. You sure you want to hire me?
Okay lah.
Okay. Wait. One more. Gown. They need to wear gown, right?
Yes, gown.
Actually, I cheated lah, cause our crew is giving me a lot of
Okay.
Let's insert the sound lah.
3 more.
Wow.
3 or 4 more lah. I let you.
Suit ni or not? Suit consider underground or not?
No. It's considered the same. Usually, they rent from the same place or the guy don't even rent. Normally, guys buy the suit.
Yeah.
Brides will rent. Some brides buy, but rarely because gowns are expensive to buy lah.
Yes.
It's more of an angmoh thing to buy gowns. Okay, let me help you with one.
Yes, please.
MC.
Oh, okay.
Wedding
Yes,
MCs.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's
yes.
also one of the vendors that couples. I think after COVID, I tend to see a trend. More and more couples are looking for MCs. Yeah, in the past, prior to COVID, usually they get friends lah.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I see more MCs coming up, which is good also lah. Yeah, because MCs they know how to crowd control.
Yes,
they now
yes.
know how to help couple manage the program flow of the timeline and all that. Yeah. Okay, so 第六个. Do you say wedding stylist?
I said decor and styling.
Okay, you said styling. Okay, then live band.
Okay.
Live band is also one. But okay, it's not that common. But I would say maybe like 15% of the couples out there do have live bands.
Well, actually, if you want to count live band, then you can also count in like those photo booth.
Yeah, photo booth also can.
Or roving photographer.
Yeah. Because I'm talking about what are the vendors, what kind of services they may need. So these are services that couples typically engage. So I mean, photo booth wasn't on my list, but it's good that you mentioned. So just a little bit of context. Photo booth is like instant print where couples engage a company to come and set up a backdrop, and then they take photos for the guests during the cocktail reception, and then they will print photos for the guests to bring home lah. Yeah, so it gives the guests some form of like a souvenir lah, also to bring back. Yeah, so it's also something that we see quite often. Yeah, so maybe one more.
Wow.
This one very important one, bro. You don't have this, you cannot get married on the day.
Your wedding ring?
No.
Wait, what? Solemnizer.
Yes.
Oh shit.
No, solemnizer. Yeah, so solemnizer is actually the most important one.
Okay.
Because no solemnizer, then
I didn't know they are considered like a vendor, because I thought it's like, you go ROM, you get the cert and all, but like, you just get like a justice of peace too.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they are considered like vendors.
I will consider them as also a vendor lah, because they are someone that you have to engage outside, that you need to liaise, and coordinate to bring them in. So actually solemnizer is so important. Yeah, because why I say solemnizer is important, a lot of couples, they don't realize the importance of it is because as a photographer, when I work with a solemnizer, I realize that they do set the mood of the whole solemnization, because they are kind of like the host also. And then whatever they say and things like that, it triggers a kind of it evokes I would say trigger. It evokes certain type of emotions from the couple during the ceremony. So whether is it very solemn, whether is it very funny, it really depends on the solemnizer's style. Yeah. Because some solemnizers that are less experienced, they tend to rush through the whole process. And then it feels very short and rushed. And couple didn't really get to immerse themselves in the moment. Then the next thing, sign paper over already. Yeah. So I think it's also very important because it's your wedding photos, very much when you look back, it will remind you of what happened on the day. So I think the solemnization is like a very sacred and very important 15-20 minutes of your time. Yeah. So, but of course, not everyone has solemnizer. Some they have a church, so they do church, then they don't work with a solemnizer. They work with a priest or a pastor. That kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, but sometimes couples don't do the wedding day and the solemnization on the same day also. Yeah. So on the wedding day itself, there is no signing or certificate because it's already done prior to the wedding. So that on the day itself, couple feel a bit more stress-free lah. Yeah. But if you want to keep things simpler and more straightforward, then just do everything on the same day. It will be easier lah for you to a certain extent. Because if you do a separate day, then you still have to engage vendors. It will be more expensive lah, I would say. Yeah. Because you need to engage photographer, makeup artist to shoot your solemnization at Fort Canning maybe. If let's say you do a very, very simple one, you can just register, go to Fort Canning and get a queue number, and then they will just do a quick 5-10 minutes exchange of vows, and you'll be husband and
Oh,
wife.
that is so quick, every time it's just like 10 minutes in and out. Hey, but did you see like the news? They recently said that they're gonna renovate, I think, the one at Fort Canning.
Oh, is it?
They're gonna change the ROM
It's long
place.
overdue already.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. We'll be sharing more with you in part 2 next week, so do stay tuned and we look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye.